Day one, why am I here? The more I push back against control, the more I feel it. The more free I express myself, the more controlled I feel. The more I force outcomes, the less true I feel to myself. Why do I have to try to put titles on myself? Why does RX Presley have to be arrogant? Why does RX Presley have to look rich? Why does RX Presley have to look like he has life figured out? All those titles and fake expectations make me feel phony, fake, false. I don't want admiration. I don't want to be idolized. I just want to know I'm not alone with my dreams. I want to be understood, and every time I think about what I want other people to think of me, I feel further from myself and who I am. I'm a nobody who wants to be a somebody. I'm everybody. Why do we have to impress people? Why do we have to act? Why do we pretend we know the answers and have life figured out? Why do we set such attainable goals for ourselves, and when we see someone do something great, we downplay it? Why don't we all believe we deserve to be great? The world deserves our greatness. Why do I admire people who flaunt wealth? Do I? Or do I just enjoy watching the process of seeing someone become great and support their ability to create wealth? I thought I had to stop pursuing my dreams because I ran out of money trying to buy them. I sold all of the stupid shit I collected because it means nothing to me. I always knew I'd never take any of it to the grave, but I would hold on to it because I knew I would never get back what I paid for it. My time. I spent months, years of my life working for more material goods, just to prove to myself I could afford more than people around me. Like I had to prove my value in gold and designer shit. What a waste of time. I created a life just to consume more. I don't want to take more. I want to give. I know what it's like to have nothing and want more. And now I know what it's like to have more and want nothing. I want nothing more. I want to be me. I want to express myself freely. I want to know other people feel like me. I want to know I'm not alone. I want to know me. Day 2, suicide mission. I didn't understand God, but I think I do now. All my bad karma caught up to me at once. All my bad energy finally found its way back. The first time I thought about suicide was when my mom cheated on my dad. I was 11 or 12. I felt so not in control of my life, but it was the first time I took control. Out of lack of self-love and the desire to be liked, or have friends, or not be an outcast. I finally gave in to the bullying, but I wanted it. I wanted to have control over my appearance. I starved myself and ran for 2 to 3 hours a day. I ate 1 bowl of dry Special K and gave up rice. I lost 30 pounds over a summer and I cut my hair. I went back to 8th grade a new person. I had to reinvent myself on the outside to express that I was a new person on the inside too. I had control for once in my life, and it's funny, people treated me so differently. I was a little more accepted, but still not enough. I loved emo music and depression was a way of life. I was learning about Christ at a Protestant school and how much of a sinner I was. I believed hell was a real place. I was addicted to pornography and fantasized about sex. I heard a weekly sermon about how sinful sex and masturbation was. They preached it weekly to a bunch of kids going through puberty, how sexual thoughts would send me to hell. I had to repent daily. I begged God to help him stop the thoughts. One day I was so afraid of going to hell, I meditated for hours about how I would cut my hands off. That would have been suicide. No self-punishment should ever promote self-harm. No fucking religion should promote cutting off your hands or gouging out your own eye. I almost did that too. Stop taking the Bible so literally. Stop taking everything literally. Words are not the only way we express ourselves, and it would be horrible to think that's all we have. We have feelings, we have body language, we have sixth senses, we have energy. Every argument is a miscommunication or a misunderstood expression. You know it. Every time you get into an argument, it's over words. Every time someone lies to your face, you know it. Every time you lie to someone, you feel it, and they know it. You both know it, but you both wait for the truth. That's all we want. That's all I want. I want to express my truth, and I want people to be true to me. Imagine a world where we let people be true to themselves. Imagine a world where we didn't force people to fit into roles for our comfort. Imagine your parents told you that you could be an astronaut and were willing to help learn with you. Imagine a world where people were truthful and we made time for it. But instead, we're told not to run. We're told to behave. We're told to act a certain way. How can you just act your whole life? Act like a good kid. Follow the rules, not the people that make them. Act like you're better than them. Your parents compared you to the other kids at the restaurant. Like, why can't you sit in your chair and be quiet like them? Why can't you get good grades like your brother? Why can't you get a girlfriend? Why don't you have friends to hang out with? You know how much that just perpetuates your low self-esteem? To be in competition with your neighbor or your brother, the more you ask me why I'm not like them, the more alone I feel. I am not them. And life is not a competition. We're not here on this earth to compete with our brother, to outdo him on a test, to make more money than him. We're not here on this earth to buy a nicer car than our coworker, or to get more likes on a picture of absolutely nothing memorable. I'm not here to follow my dad's footsteps or to get a good job with retirement. That would be a joke. What a joke of God's creation to create a slave. Slavery is a perspective. Do we all not work just to make enough for a house and clothes until we work again tomorrow? To work for a house that gives us a place to sleep until work tomorrow? Until we're 65 and retired to 20 years of freedom? Is that not slavery? It's slavery if you think it is. It's slavery if you have no goals. And God never made a slave. You were not born a slave, so stop being a slave. Slaves control other slaves. People with no power make you feel powerless. Slaves will tell you not to pursue your dreams, because slaves are afraid they'll have to do your share of the work if you leave. They'll kill your dreams because they're too afraid to break their own chains. They don't want to find a way to break their chains. Maybe it's all they know. I was so ashamed to tell people my dreams because they only saw me as a slave. They didn't support my dreams because they wanted to keep me a slave. I was always feeling like a burden, so different, never fit in. They spend their money on vacations and save for retirement. I was spending my money on music. I dropped an album when my friend had his first son. He has 3 children now, and I have 4 albums. What a shame. I put enough money into this music to buy a house, probably 2 houses in another country. I worked 80 to 110 hours a week for 6 years now, and I have no material goods to show for it, just an apartment and a Tesla, and don't have a savings account. I couldn't even tell my wife I was broke. I was gonna try to fix the problems I created on my own. I started rushing releases and selling all my jewelry. I even found a renter to pay my mortgage while I would move in with my brother to get my finances together. Buried in debt, I worked every minute of every day. I was at work, on the clock, selling items on the marketplace. I was hustling merch and promo. I would drive Uber if I didn't have a way to make money for that day. My brother-in-law was sick, and I told my wife we would fly out to visit him in the spring, but I wasn't gonna make it till then. I felt like a burden on my brother. I was asking to rent his office out for me to sleep in. I felt like a burden on my coworkers. I wasn't even mentally at work. I was constantly trying to set up the next day I could work, or constantly trying to sell something online. I felt like a burden on my wife. I was always working, never home, and spent it on music, trying to blow up and for it to pay off. I felt like a burden on everyone. They were all getting less of me than they were used to. I was lying to everyone about life going well, lying about saving my money, lying about the fact this music is just for fun, lying every time I smiled to make some content. I was hiding myself. I was hiding the fact I wasn't just broke, but in so much debt I would have to make $150K a year for 11 more years just to get out of debt. With zero budget for my music or a family, I tried to get a consolidation loan for my debt and they turned me down. I had to file bankruptcy. How fucking embarrassing. To work the equivalent of 15 years and 6 years and file bankruptcy. How embarrassing to be the oldest son, oldest brother, a firefighter who has a good job. How embarrassing to have to tell people I lied to them about saving money. How embarrassing to think about letting so many people down. Bankruptcy was the first step to cleaning up my mess. Thought about telling my wife to leave me because I wouldn't have the money to start a family. My business was being audited. My whole life was about to be exposed. I felt so much guilt. So much guilt to tell people that they wasted their time and money investing in me. Tried to sell my couch to my coworker, but it got to a point I felt like I was forcing it. Spent hours every day combing through my finances to get the last 4 years of taxes in order. I was trying to figure out how I could force my music to take off. Outrageous promo ideas that no one would post. I wanted to promote an online assassination of RX Presley. I was moving a whole apartment for 2 people into a room my brother used as an office. I was checking in constantly with buyers on Grailed and Marketplace, trying to get rid of my shit. Once I got my taxes and bankruptcy documents in order, I decided I would end my life. August 22nd was going to be the last day at work. I spent that day trying to enjoy my last day. I went up in the ladder bucket for the first and last time in my life. I'm scared of heights. I got my last workout in. I asked Casey one more time about the couch. I knew tomorrow was my last day and I said bye to Casey and told him I was probably going to call out of work on Saturday. I couldn't sleep that night, so I put my AirPods in and listened to 808s and Heartbreak by Ye. I woke up the next morning to Christian music. Christian music on the day I was going to kill myself was kind of weird, but it made me feel at peace. Maybe the algorithm got me there because of Ye's Christian gospel album. But it was a simple day. Move the last of our stuff to my brother's, tidy up that room, do some last bit of touch-ups of our apartment before the showings on Saturday, see my attorney, and then go back to my apartment and kill myself. Life insurance would pay off my debt. It's funny how rushed I felt to do it. I was in survival mode, just running around all day so I could hurry up and end it. I got back to the apartment and started painting. I redid the caulking on the shower and around the toilet. Then I got a call from a debt collector, a lawyer, about my association fees. I forgot I bounced that check trying to clear the Geek World Order album, but I couldn't leave a $2,200 collection behind for my wife to deal with. She already would have to complete my bankruptcy for me after she got my life insurance check. So I told the lawyer I would bring a cashier's check to her office before 12 noon. I had to go and drop off paperwork to my bankruptcy attorney anyways. I went to ASB to get a cashier's check and realized I lost my driver's license. I rushed to the gas station I usually buy my tobacco at and beat myself up the whole time for going back to buying tobacco in person because I was doing so well with ordering Zyn online. I got my driver's license and I missed the freeway exit for my bank in Kapolei. So I hit the next ASB in Waipio and realized they don't print cashier's checks. So now I was heading north to the next ASB in Mililani. So I figured I would just stop at my brother's. I had to. I couldn't leave my wife with a disassembled computer chair. I stopped to assemble the chair and spray some cologne because I was going to see my lawyer soon. I grabbed a black button-down shirt too. Went and got my cashier's check and made it to the attorney's around 1 p.m. So much for 11:30. My wife texted me that she was getting off of work and that she would come by the apartment to help clean it up. I didn't want her to, but she insisted. During that time, I forgot about my bankruptcy attorney, and I didn't get to their office. I was back at the apartment loading up the last of my stuff, and I saw Jack's Balenciaga shoe. I sent him the left shoe in exchange for merch promo, but the right shoe was going to be mine until Christmas. I realized if I was dead, I wouldn't be able to send the second shoe. So I went online that day and saw he left me a DM saying, "You're doing God's work over there." It stopped me for a second. My whole life was about to end, and I was feeling like such a piece of shit. But this kid had no idea I was a piece of shit. Maybe it was a joke because I'm such a troll online, but it made me feel at peace for a second. I finally packed that up too, and I had a USPS box with merch for Two to Trap, waiting to be sent out. That wouldn't get sent either. My wife and I had a special bidet seat on our toilet, and I wanted to take it to my brother's for her comfort. I went and got a new toilet seat and changed out our bidet. I had to shut the water off to remove the adapter, and the shutoff for the toilet broke, so I had to replace it now. I had about $40 left in my bank account. I had to use $12 for a shutoff and couldn't afford the pressure coupling tool. But I know I had one of those tools at my brother's, so I rushed there to pick it up, along with some wrenches. I realized I missed a call from a bankruptcy attorney's office, and I begged them to let me come by before they closed for the weekend. I wasn't gonna live that long. They said they had no more available time, so I accepted it and went back to fixing the toilet shutoff. It was about 5:30 when I realized I couldn't find the shutoff to my apartment. After minutes of walking around my apartment, my neighbor came out to ask what I was doing. She helped me locate the cover and it was full of mud. She said the shutoff was about 3 feet underground, so I just dug up with my hands. After about 20 minutes, she left and I finally got to it. I was shoulder deep underground and there were 2 white PVC shutoffs, one for my apartment and one for my neighbor below. I picked one and shut it. My wife was upstairs ready to tell me when the sink stopped running, but she never came out. I opened that shutoff and went to close mine. The PVC shutoff snapped, and that hole I dug filled with water. I was fucked. It was a Friday night and I needed a plumber, and I couldn't afford an emergency fee. I couldn't even afford a plumber. I had $18 to my name. I was on the phone with every plumber in the area trying to get someone ASAP to replace my shutoff. It's going to be an expensive job and take 6 or more hours. I felt like I had no options and was worried about the flooding downstairs, so I drove to the fire station across the street to see if I could borrow a sleeve from Hazmat just to slow or stop the leak. They insisted on bringing their whole crew and the Hazmat truck over, and I was so hopeless and helpless I didn't even feel shame. They assessed the problem and told me they couldn't help me. I remember Firefighter 2 Mendez looking down the hole and telling me, "You're fucked." That moment was hilarious for me. I realized these people, my friends, had no idea what was going on in my head and treated me like they would any other day. "You're fucked." That made me realize it was just a regular day in the world and only my world was ending. I had to ask my brother if he would lend me $1,000 to pay the plumbers in the morning, and he said yes. I had no shame left. I had to make sure it got fixed before the open house the next day at 2 p.m. All that was left in the apartment was the couch Casey didn't buy. I told my wife she should go to my brother's because she had to work in the morning. I couldn't force her to leave. Suicide was still an option, but she wouldn't leave. I told her to go to my brother's to shower and sleep on our bed, just so I could pretend I was staying at the apartment to monitor the leak. I finally got the chance to respond to Sean about my day. I guess I made a joke about RX Presley jumping off a cliff in our group chat. I spent an hour writing out this whole day in text, and it seemed so crazy. Like, it was a whole movie, which I probably would have titled Suicide Mission. A few days later, someone who I admired, he hung himself. He was a firefighter on my crew a few years ago. He was so intense and passionate, he often rubbed people the wrong way, but only lazy people. I felt connected to Kaleo because his passion for firefighting mirrored my passion for music. And we joked about suicide in the past, having inner demons. I have a demon in me. I have semen in me, or inner semens. So when he did it, I was upset. Upset he did it and didn't find a way not to like I did. Then I realized I didn't choose not to kill myself yet. It was still an option. The fallout from Kaleo's suicide started a lot of conversation. Kaleo is the reason I'm still here. I never got to tell him how much of a positive impact he was in my life, but he was a tough guy. He would probably call me a quitter for choosing to live, but I think this is one good thing to quit. I'm making peace with my inner demons. I hate that you're gone, bro, and I never got to tell you how much you impacted my life. Your actions always made waves, and that's all I want to do. Culture here is not to make waves. That's where I get you. Love. Day 3. Why do we fear death? I used to fear death. I used to fear the unknown. I remember I once feared hell. Then I died. And there was nothing but my life. And it was perfect. There were no more answers to seek, nothing more to attain, no more knowledge to seek. There was no more. And I was at peace. I realized there were no more expectations. I just wish I did everything I thought I'd do, and I wish I never tried to impress anyone. I realized I was everyone. I saw myself in everyone, and they were all in me. Every good and bad thing I did had a butterfly effect, and I could have stayed in hell, but I made peace. I forgave myself for being the teacher. Everyone gets fucked over and has to learn their lesson, and who better than me? Then I found peace. That was heaven. My life was beautiful. I was warm. I could have stayed, but I wasn't ready to leave. I had more to give and more to grow. I woke up. Now I don't fear death. I know I will be the cause of mine, but what I do until that day is up to me. My only fear is not living. Day 4. I am everything. I used to think I wanted to be something. I thought I lacked what I needed, so I was chasing things to become that something. I wanted to be RX Presley. RX Presley had money, jewelry, bad bitch, a house, a car, and fans. And then I was RX Presley. I had money, Byzantine ropes, iced out Hublot, LV this, BB that, bad bitch, a house, 2 cars, and 1 fan. But I didn't feel like RX Presley. RX Presley stopped inspiring me. RX Presley was empty with a fuckload of overpriced luggage. So I sold off all of RX Presley's shit for his Ocho collab. Now RX Presley had a collab tape and nothing he rapped about. I still felt disconnected to RX Presley. but I achieved something I wanted, not for personal gain, but out of pure want, because that's part of RX Presley's story. RX Presley was Vlad, and I am RX Presley. I have everything RX Presley should have. I used to want something to be someone. Now I need nothing to be someone. But really, I am nothing. RX Presley is a thought, an idea brought to life. RX Presley is my creation, and RX Presley is everyone. Just a normal guy expressing a thought in a material world. RX Presley is yay. I am Elon Musk. I am you. I am everything. Love. Day 5. Love is God. Love is God. Love has no rules. Love has no boundaries. Love has no expectations. There is only one God. God has no religion. God is the religion. God is love. Why are you here today? Love. The night you were conceived. Loved by your parents. 9 months in the womb protected by your mother, but also everyone who knew she was carrying you. Love. When you lost your parents, but found a new home. Love. When you lost your first love, love kept you going. When you had no home and slept in a car and someone offered you a couch. Love. When you failed your first marriage. Love from those who told you it would get better. When you wanted to end your life, love kept you here. When you lost your home and someone gave you their room, love. When they pushed you to achieve more, love. The teacher that talked to you after school when you were afraid to go home, love. Every single bad event in your life was cured with love. God made us all in His perfect image with love. And He is still creating, just like you are still creating you. It's more than a feeling. Love is not just a word. Love is in all of us. And the more love we have for ourselves, the more love we have to give. You're here today not by chance, but by love. Your opportunities and doors open when you love. God is in all of us, and collectively, God is His whole creation. And God's creation is perfect. If it doesn't feel perfect yet, then God hasn't finished His work on you. God is an artist chiseling away at you like the Michelangelo. Everything God takes from you is making you more perfect. Let it all go. Let yourself be loved. Don't pick who you want to love you. You must learn to love yourself. And you are not your physical body. It is merely a vessel to show your appreciation for God and to give love. Start every day with a love expression. Meet everyone with love. They will learn to love too, and they will learn God. Love is what Ye feels when he creates music or showcases new talented artists. Don't let this define love for you, but you are a creator like God or like Christ, once a rebel with a vision. God wants you to succeed. God wants the best RX Presley to be carved out down to the final detail. So let him take everything that no longer serves you. Stop self-serving. Serve God. Be great. Day 6. Man. Man is the physical form. The soul lives there in the heart, and the divine lives in the mind. The mind is just a bunch of electrical circuits and hormones. Your dreams live there. Only when you experience your dreams, they do become a memory, déjà vu. When you set a strong emotion of fear or joy behind a dream, it will materialize and become memory. I didn't realize I had memories of my future, déjà vu. Everything I have, I knew was already mine. Thoughts become things. Be mindful of your thoughts. The frequency of emotion you feel towards your thoughts will determine how soon they become things. Man is how God expresses himself as well. So what would God do? God is making a way for every path you want to take. It is your job to get out of the lower frequency thoughts of fear, hate, guilt, shame, and move into higher frequency thoughts like love, gratitude, joy, and acceptance. Feel joy for having everything. Feel gratitude for the things that you have, just not immaterial, and the material find its way. Man, human, no gender, no race, nothing but a physical body to express your God. Day 7, Deadly Sins. It's unfinished. Pride. My definition is when you think you are more important than someone else. You're arrogant and vain. My pride gets in the way often. I think people talk about me, and worse, they might talk shit behind my back. Pride makes me hide parts of myself that I'm so ashamed of. So much that I got gyno surgery because I always felt ashamed to take my shirt off. Pride makes me respond to hateful comments, or I lash out at people who I feel misunderstood by. Pride makes me not put value and time into people who don't serve me. Pride makes me compare my followers and monthly listeners to other artists. Pride makes me take yearly trips just to flex. Pride makes me belittle people that don't have what I have. Pride doesn't let me ask for help because I think I'm better than anyone else. Pride is the reason I keep spending money to keep up with appearances because I could not take a step back or give up the things I bought for myself when people told me I didn't need them. Pride made me think I had to keep working 100 hours a week so I could keep everything I bought. Couldn't sell a car or my home to pay off my debt because my pride would have been hurt to tell people I was in financial trouble because I lied and told them I was stacking money up. But really I was investing it all in music, which they didn't support either. Pride almost led me to suicide because I thought my life insurance payment would allow my wife to keep everything she was so proud we worked for. Pride doesn't let me take criticism of my art. Pride makes me tell others that their lives suck or their music is trash. Pride prevents authentic connections I could have with people, but I would be ashamed to be associated with. Pride prevents my growth because I don't admit when I'm wrong, but instead get to preaching about how I'm so amazing. Pride makes me ashamed of making meaningful content or going out because everything needs to look like wealth and perfection. Pride made me live a lie. Pride's remedy is humility. Humility is to be able to admit the things I'm not good at or my mistakes. I had to take a step back and ask for help. I filed for bankruptcy because I was burnt out trying to keep up with all of my bills. I had to ask my brother to rent a room from him. I had to tell my coworkers I was not in a good headspace because if I didn't, they'd expect the same quality of work from me. But I had too much going on. I was falling apart, and my life got better every time I put my pride aside. Humility allowed me to find a way to improve my financial situation. It allowed me to be honest with myself about how much money I was spending on forcing my music to be heard. It allowed me to tell my wife I was in almost 100K of debt. But once I said that, she holds me accountable and understands why I work so much. It was obvious my money was disappearing as I kept buying promo or drove Uber just to clear Geek World Order. Once I spoke out about my problems, people helped me find ways and options to fix them. They could offer their experiences or perspective, which I needed. If I practice humility and tell my truths instead of half-truths or lies, I can make progress in life fast. If I help build up other artists and collaborate with people at my level, beginner, I can share my experiences instead of pretending I have everything figured out. Pinocchio story. I just want to be a real boy. I'm no better than any person. We all are on our own time to becoming the best we can be. No collaboration should be self-serving. Day 8. Stop pushing. I feel like I pushed too hard, pushed an image too hard, tried too hard to prove I was different, to be original, to be true to me. I lost my inner self. I lost communication trying to force an outcome or to feel like I could be understood. The more I pushed myself, it was a normal human reaction for people to push back. And maybe I was something different, but it's human nature to push back when someone is forcing something on you. When they force a vaccine, when they force you to be quiet about race or religion, we are rebellious by nature. We don't want to be controlled. We don't want someone to tell us how to believe in God. We don't want to be told how to behave. We don't want to be told that what way of life is best for us, or at least the people like me. I have a lot to give, but forcing myself to be seen a certain way makes me feel like I'm being taken from. I don't value material things. I value real connections. I value family, blood or not. I want people to see their potential. I want to show people that they can find their truest self through expression. We all can be great and succeed in life. I just want to be real. I want to be understood. I just want to know I'm not alone. Day 9. Who am I becoming? Chasing money will forever be a chase if I don't ever realize I have enough. I have enough. I have enough to not be living in survival mode. I have enough to pursue my rockstar dreams. But I don't like living like a rock star anymore. It feels so empty. The more I accumulate in the material world, the more empty I feel inside. Why do I feel the need to numb myself? Why do I harm myself for the pleasures of now? Do I not believe I can achieve greatness? I don't understand why I think more money will fix my problems. I make more every year and feel like it's for nothing. Who are my peers? Who am I comparing my accomplishments to? Do I even have a message anymore? I think I know what I need to do, but how can I push through? How can I promote love and growth if I don't change? Every day that I choose some easy form of expression, like talking, I take away from action. I think too much. Why does everything have to look a certain way? Why do I need wealth to prove my voice can be heard? Do I need achievements to inspire? I feel like I'm a slave to the material world when all I want to be is a guiding voice. Day 10. What do I even want? I want to break free of my mental slavery so I can inspire others to be great. How can I change the world? Why do I feel like I need to? I hate believing that I can. What qualities do I need and what can I do? How can I free people if they can't see their shackles? What are my shackles? Things that require money, my car, house, job, music. Things that steal my time, work, social media, all media consumption. Things that hold me back, expectations I think other people have of me. Age and time obligations like family and status. What does a free RX Presley look like or do? Performances, interviews, meets real fans, inspires change by thought. Movie quality videos, flies, does something positive or spreads a positive feeling daily. Is unbound to a physical or material home, lives on a tour bus, but has properties or an office to meet and plan with people, collaborates with all of his favorite artists, Never feels the need to flash any money, but my fashion will inspire thought or help with my image. Arx Presley's message is to pursue the life you want and stay willing to grow and help others as often as you can. Serve. Prove age doesn't matter. Age is only a number regarding experience. But I know a lot of people who mentally stopped evolving the day that they gave up their dreams, when they told themselves they were too old. So back to the topic, what do I want? To move people, to inspire greatness, to see they're limitless. Let your heart and mind and physical world be coherent. Help people process and grow by constantly questioning if they do or want serves a bigger purpose, or if it is only to numb or avoid pain. Help them push through the pain, feel alive. I want Arx Presley to be remembered as a man who fought adversity at every turn and won. A man who served and helped more than he took. A man who took his mental health into his own hands and mastered it. A man who showed us what real love is, wanting people to stop competing but seek growth in others. A man who promoted self-love and healing through honesty with everyone. A man who got people to see past race, age, color, sex, religion, and see every man as himself. Perfect. Showed that a real man admits their flaws, so he doesn't die by them. Stops violence in music by showing alternatives. Guns, fist fight, drugs, expression, or psychedelics. Money, investing in others. Don't flash money or wealth, never more than is needed, so that I invested in other artists and promote them. Day 11. I am not better than anyone. I am just like you. I am vulnerable. I make mistakes. I want to be great. I want to know real love. I want you to know you are not alone. There's more to life. You're a part of something bigger than you. Call it the universe, or God, or the one, the all. Everything you do makes waves, butterfly effect. Everything you do affects everyone. We are all mirrors of each other. Day 12. Victim of my ego. The world isn't against me, but I like to tell myself it is to justify my inaction. I tell myself not to be me because I don't love me. I don't believe in my message. I fear I will yell into the abyss and the few people standing around will laugh. I hate that I think I can change the world and I do nothing because I think I need more. If my intentions are pure, will it matter? What if there's no proof I helped anyone? Will I still pursue speaking? I fear putting the truest form of me out there because it will take all of me, and it will kill me if I did it for nothing. Day 13. Feel alive. When are we really alive? When am I really alive? I have a hard time grasping the concept of existing here and now. I'm always reflecting on my past, reliving horrors and guilt. I say I forgive myself, but that forgiveness is temporary. Or I'm anxious about the future, so much that sometimes I hope I don't live long enough for my past to catch up to me. So I chase my future. Even right now, I'm just dwelling in my mind, and all that exists there are dreams and nightmares. My past is full of pain, but I think I'm past it. But maybe not, because I still feel a future full of pain. I try to think positively or trust God, but even I know He has 1,000 more tests for me. I think I feel alive. I'm breathing. I have a pulse. I think I have a purpose. Maybe that's just a dream too. I feel alive when my emotions are elevated, good or bad. Or maybe being alive is only when you feel. Happiness or joy come and go so quickly, but pain is inevitable, and I refuse to stay the same. So I guess I'll always feel pain. That's my best friend. Love equals pain. Day 14. Harmony. Who do I feel I am? Who do I want to be? When I think of my legacy, I want to be remembered, but remembered as remarkable. The future me leaves behind or inspires the next generation to be true to themselves, to live in harmony with truth, to live in harmony with the rest of God's creation. Nature has seasons. Every day becomes night, then day again. I just don't know what season I'm in, or even the time of day. I say I'm hopeful for the future. I tell people I'll be someone great, but my actions aren't in harmony with that. I think it's because I thought greatness was an image, but greatness is a subjective feeling. The perfect me, true creative freedom, unclouded thoughts, someone who inspires others to be great, a positive influence, free to express, honest and true, sells out shows, inspires thoughts and creativity, a cultural leader, a culture shifter, infinite resources to reach as many people as possible. Things that don't align, my fear of being misunderstood, doubt, lots of self-doubt, never feeling like I've done anything great, negative influence of violence and drugs. I hide parts of me, the imperfections, fear of rejection, funding, music quality, performance ability. No one knows me. Culture shift to what? Disconnected with the culture. Funding, management. Day 15. Traits. I don't fully believe I can express my inner God. My addictions weaken me. Substances need to constantly be seen or be online. Addictions to self-defeating thoughts. Addictions to self-destructive behavior. I don't resonate with being the next Ye. I say I want it, but wanting it means I'm not that person. I need to be R.X. Presley, the leader, now. I have to be him now. I can't want to be him because there's still a disconnect then. R.X. Presley would say I'm the most influential person of this generation. I am the best choice to lead the kids. I am the one who made the way for 1 million kids to become who they want to be. I have no care for money, but I only use it to serve humanity. I'm not an image, but a consciousness, state of being, of pure creation, love, faith, determination, discipline. I make mistakes and let the people cast their judgment, and I find solutions for them all. I am unaffected by the world's problems, but I offer solutions. I change the way people think. I teach people to love and accept everyone by first loving myself and all my flaws. I never fail because I never stop growing. I speak for those who don't feel they have a voice. The world benefits from my existence. I help usher in a new consciousness. I perform miracles. Day 16. What the world needs. A new status quo, a resurrection in belief in God, to understand others, to stop controlling others, to have no fear, to have good intentions, to be servants of each other, not self-serving, to be in control of their destinies, a new understanding of religion, to seek evolution, to to seek longevity, to see who really holds their fate, to see their shackles, to give more than they take, to see that all their actions have consequences, to do good for all, not just benefit a few, to dream big and pursue their dreams, hope for an amazing future, to wait, to want and welcome change, to all suffer a little for the greater good, honesty and ownership, to stop casting blame, to be real, stop concealing intentions, to see everyone as perfect or on their way to be, to love, real love, acceptance, no judgment. Day 17. What would benefit humanity? To act out of pure love. Fighting doesn't win wars, love does. To stop projecting your fears on everyone. When we project hate and fear, or we divide people, we become the terrorists. When we push an image of Muslims being terrorists, we become terrorists, and we inspire more. When we call people racist or use examples of racist behavior, we breed the racism. When we tell people they're underpaid or poor, they embody that mindset. When we show people material wealth is success, we breed unsuccessful people. Or we plant seeds of unsuccess in people's minds who have less, that harms their self-esteem. When we promote external beauty as definition of beauty, we harm self-esteem. We destroy the idea of inner beauty, and external beauty is short-lived. We promote and teach love as something with conditions or having rules. Real love is like a mother's or a brother's, unconditional. We don't give people second chances. We allow an agenda to be pushed that holds people to their past mistakes. We cancel people over human mistakes. We live in fear because the media sells fear in exchange for money, views, and attention. Attention and time are the real currency. We don't allow, or we still have hate and fear towards other races, genders, religions. We are taught to seek material things, house, cars, jewelry, designer, just to prove we are winning the competition of life. We are made to believe we must compete with everyone for the same things. We suppress and bully those with big dreams. We don't support people with big dreams or world-changing ideas because it will disrupt the lives we have worked so hard for in the past. We keep voting for the same people because we prefer status quo versus radical growth. Corporations sustain power by keeping those with low self-esteem enslaved and as consumers. We sell cures for diseases of the mind. We medicate symptoms instead of make changes that are the root of our problems. We make people afraid to make mistakes or try new things because we are taught to look down on people who fail. We don't let our peers change because we want control over the role they play in our lives. We always try to find reasons to discredit those who achieve more because it makes us feel lesser, when instead we should be inspired. We hide intentions and agendas. We disguise wars over greed with good intentions based on emotions. We tell men to suck it up and stop complaining to a point they break. We treat our leaders as if they're not human. We treat the homeless like they're not human. We treat immigrants like they don't deserve a chance or a piece of our pie, while we throw away our excess food and clothes and overconsume till we're obese. We preach religion in a way that controls. Day 18. How can I serve? What of my experiences can I offer solutions? 100% purity is the goal in product. Who must I become the God in me, who is in all of his creation, the creative good, love, he who is the Holy Spirit, perfect harmony. In harmony, financial, physical anxiety, and worry don't exist, but moral evil doing, trusting gut instinct that you know to be right, never anything but peace, fear not. Fear does not exist in God. God fears nothing, and he lives in us. Feeling is the secret to life. Do not lust for more. Do not overconsume. There is no need to take more, only more to give. Love is free. Make the flesh obey the spirit. The physical world be the expression of God or your highest self. It's okay to desire wealth and riches, but get to the root, that motive. Only take what the soul needs. Only seek wealth for the greater good, for the evolution of the consciousness of my fellow man. Wealth only for the soul, not physical flesh or vanity. Seek no rule over others. There is no competition. Rise above the world. Cast out envy. Do not seek to sit on the throne or be king or master. All treasures are in the mind. I am equal to all my brothers. Rid yourself of all deeds and habits that are not noble. You must have faith like Lincoln and Luther, faith in principle, faith in the greatest work. The world is perfect and evolving. It is becoming. It's not a finished work. God's not finished. Each stage of Earth was perfect in itself from Jurassic to industrial, always being succeeded by a better world. The period of Earth were all perfect, just not complete. Our industries, governments, countries are all perfect. It's the best world it has ever been. It's perfect, but it's not complete. God's work is perfect and never finished. There is nothing wrong in the world, its people, or with nature. It is all perfect and right. That's the point of view. We must have disharmony and chaos. It's all perfect and advancing to be complete. We are so evolved and advanced, only getting better. We are moving so quickly towards being complete. We were all once savages, but we are improving. The inharmonies of today will be cured by those who see higher. We have the power of brotherhood to help each other grow instead of compete. We support growth. People have and seek vices, and that is perfect. The day we all rise above them, our world will evolve. One day we will all need other things. Drugs, porn, lust, greed. These are new to the savage and good. We can work to complete a finished society, not work to renovate a decaying one. Don't worry that you aren't perfect. You are better than yesterday and 10 years ago. Who will you be in 10 more years? Day 19. Sober. I can't control my emotions, so I let the drugs. I've made myself so numb that I can only feel when I consume poison. X for happiness and love. O to kill the pain or avoid it for a few hours till I pop another. Xan and Atizo for my anxiety, because I'm always thinking too much. I live too much in a worry-filled future. Shrooms for the now, so I can be present in the now. DMT just a few times when I want to die, or when I want to remember what it's like to die. My poisons are just that. They aren't cures. 20. RX Nation, the real world. RX Nation exists the place where we are all free, free to express, free to love, free of judgment, where love is pure and we are free from the mental prisons, free of expectations to be anyone but our truest selves, God. The real world isn't real. RX Nation is. RX Nation is real. Just like everything started as a thought, how a castle was first thought of, then drawn and designed and built. RX Nation's plans are laid out. We build, first we arrive. I'm here, open to all colonizers, all who want to make a living here. RX Nation is the real world, because everyone here is authentic. Truth only exists here. The other world is a lie, full of liars, lying about who they are, what they feel, what they love, what they want. And if you see what I see, you are here. You have arrived. RX Nation is home. 21. God's not finished. You are God in human form. We all are. Do you not see how we're all connected? How everything we do, speak, and think affects our brothers and sisters? How the things you do send ripples far out? How perfect all of God's creation is, because it's ours. We collectively create and exist here. Our beliefs, what we build, what we grow, what we kill. This is our creation, collectively. So we are God. Not a single of us, but all. God saw that everything he made was perfect. And if God lives in you, do you see it's perfect too? And that even you are perfect. Down to every last detail, you are perfect, just not complete, but nearing completion. So don't feel like you aren't perfect, because you're not complete. God's not finished. Every chip, chisel, scar, crack, break, and tear, carving out your finest details like the statue of David. We all come from the same marble, the same earth, dust. But we are Michelangelo. Well, our minds are. Our physical expression is our David. See that everything in your life has good purpose. It's what makes you, you. Take all your pain and let it go. Transmute your pain. Let it shape you into your perfect self. You are meant to do God's work, for you are his expression. You are perfect and almost complete. God's not finished. Day 22. The war. There can be no peace without war. We wouldn't know peace if we didn't know war. We don't learn from history, or we don't have enough foresight to foresee the actions that lead us to it. But fighting doesn't win wars. No one wins at war. Or maybe we all win at war. People have to die to remind us of who we are not. We are not savages. We are not killers. We want to survive. If it came down to a battle because you joined the war and you were face to face with your enemy, would you kill or be killed? Is your life more valuable than his? You both just want to survive, to make it home, but you're forced into war. Money is the root of all evil. Behind every evil action is a paycheck, a fake object we use to purchase what we need to survive. Until we can become self-sustaining, we are savages fighting to survive. Until we have something of value to barter with, we are takers, killers. The real war is mental. We have no enemies. No one is threatening our freedom but ourselves, our internal war. Until we find our inner peace and make peace with ourselves, we will have war. If there are only losers or only winners, whose side are you on? Who's doing wrong to protect himself or his family? Who is the bad guy? You have an inner good. Peace can exist if we all choose it. Day 23. Slavery. Slavery was a choice. Slavery still exists. Want proof? I have a career which I will dedicate 33 years of my life to, in exchange for a roof over my head and food to keep me fed. I'm working a job that will build no timeless art. I have nothing to do but sit in traffic, get in the slave line. I spend a day physically laying the bricks or picking cotton for a home or clothing I cannot afford. I am given shelter and I am fed. Sometimes all I can afford is poisonous. My shackles are invisible, or maybe they exist as a mortgage or a car payment, or even better, my gold jewelry. These are my shackles. They force me to repeat the same work to survive and maintain. Did the slaves not have masters who told them what they could and could not do? Are we not forced to work when we are sick, undernourished, or until we are too old, only to be replaced? Is that enough proof that we are still slaves? And is it also not a choice? Maybe we want that house to pass down to our children so they may be free of slavery. Maybe we slave because we need to make a better world for our children. We can choose not to be slaves. We can choose to be self-sustaining and go back to savage times, live day to day, wake up, find shelter, find food, and repeat until we die. Slavery is a choice. Just make sure you have good reason. Let the reason you slave be for a better world. Let it be so our children can reap what we sow. But don't let the story they tell you fool you. The slave masters were not evil. The slave masters had a vision of evolution, a better world. And so did the slaves, which is why they chose slavery. Let my work bring about a better world. I am a slave to a better future. I am a slave to evolution, a prisoner to what I envision. And if it takes my whole life to achieve my gift to the world, I will slave for you. They could have done anything they wanted to, but they chose to build the pyramid that outlived them, to inspire us, their children, to build something greater than their existence, to help with our evolution, to build cities for safety and shelter, to build the airplane so we may explore and connect to all of God's creation, to build the internet so we may connect to anyone at any time. Everything is a product of evolution and slavery. You are not a prisoner. You can stop tomorrow if you want. You are free. The illusion of freedom is false. You cannot be truly free in the material world. But your mind and ability to create is where you are free. Your worries don't matter in the grand scheme, only what is done. Transmute your worries into love, and the future is good. Evolve. Evolution is the only key to life, your reason to exist. We will slave for utopia, where all are free to pursue what is for the greater good. We are here to complete God's perfect world, and it starts with perspective. Day 24. Fear does not exist. Fear is not tangible, neither is anxiety or stress. They only exist in the mind. You cannot point at something in the physical world and say, that is fear, or that is stress. It is a mental state. Fear nothing, not even death. It is inevitable. It will come to pass. So why live in fear of it? The worst fear is fear of failure. You cannot fail if you never stop. Do not fear another man's perception. Do not fear that people will cause you harm. Do not fear missing that shot or opportunity. If you seek it, it will find you. If you seek things to fear, you will find them. If you seek pain, you will find it. If you seek enemies, you will find them. If you seek toughness, you will find challenges. But if you seek real, pure, honest love, you will find it. But you must know it so that you will see it when it is shown. You must find it in you first. If you seek material, you'll find that too. Every answer exists in the greater mind, the one closest to God. You have all of your solutions. Maybe you just need a reminder or to hear the words of someone else who found them. None of today's problems are new, just evolved. We still have problems with communication. We still have problems with those who seek absolute power. We still have problems of those who take more than they give. But fear only exists in your mind. And if you understand God, you would see you could be anything. Fearless. Day 25. Success and joy. My idea of success isn't mine. I don't know if it was programmed by my parents or maybe the media I consumed growing up. Or maybe it was everyone. All the people who said you want a good education so you can pick a job that pays good and you can have nice things. So you can have a house and a nice car and a beautiful woman. Like, is that success? A mansion, a Lambo, and a model Barbie wife? Or is that just fighting to project an image to hide low self-esteem? Self-esteem issues ruled my life. They rule the world. They control us. Why? Because it's profitable in a money-driven material world. Do I think rich people have self-esteem issues? Not all of them. Most of them probably don't. Most of them project that they don't give a fuck about what people think. But I think some really do. But the image of success and success are two different things. One is a feeling, but the one we're taught could never be attained. If you chase, you will never get it. That's why it's a chase. There will always be a newer car, a bigger house, a more beautiful or younger person than you. There will always be someone richer. So why do I even want those things? I realize I don't. I never did. I never knew what career path to take because I wanted to be an artist. And in school, they make it very clear to you that artists don't make money. Only in education or a trade will. But school could never be more wrong. I wanted to be a psychologist, actually. If I had to make money and choose a career, I was always so interested in studying the mind. I felt like I was always so sensitive and felt constant pain in life. But I was supposed to be a man and suppress them. But that never works. So I guess I always knew I wanted to help people. I was just lazy and unfocused in school because I wasn't interested in memorizing. But I loved learning. That's why I did good on tests, but never got good grades. I was too lazy to do the homework, but I always loved what I learned. My joy in life was seeing people happy and seeing people win. I always felt joy when people appreciated me when I did nice things for them. That's not a good way to measure self-worth though, because some things I did to see other people happy might have hurt others. But really deep down, I can't seem to find anything deeper than that. I find happiness and joy when I can help people, but not like giving things away, but teaching what I learned, especially when dealing with problems or emotions. People always tell me that I'm easy to talk to, so I guess that would work out better for me as a psychologist. I'm definitely not an athlete or athletic, but I did like bodybuilding because it made me look athletic. I never liked any of my jobs because I never felt I was able to express to the world what I was good at, teaching and learning. But I'll be a student of life forever. I'm constantly seeking knowledge. But to go back to success and joy, life is full of pain and suffering. It's supposed to be. Getting rich means working hard and a lot. Joy comes in small moments. It's really just a shift in brain chemicals, like having sex, getting high on drugs, masturbating, or eating something delicious. Or maybe that's pleasure. Is there a big difference in pleasure and happiness, though? Or joy? It's really just the same brain chemicals, serotonin and dopamine, some rewarding centers in our brains. But even those rewarding centers can be programmed. As free-thinking animals, we love to make rules and break them. It feels good to be bad almost as much as it does to do good. Sometimes it's easier to do bad than good when we all seek pleasure over pain. But your art will outlive you. What you bring to life will outlive you. The thoughts you bring into existence will be your success. Success, by definition, is what comes after. So then how do you define it? How can your success bring you joy? Will the pain and suffering you endure bring you joy that lasts long enough to be worth the struggle? Only you can define that. What will come after? What will you leave behind? Take every opinion with a grain of salt and test it against your definition. But no one can tell you what success truly is. There is no dollar amount. There is no image. They're all false. Wealth and pleasure don't equal success. The truth is yours. You're a part of something bigger. Day 26. Your art, creation will outlive you. Success. What comes after? If you don't define success clearly from the start, you will never know when you get there or when you have achieved it. Most of us don't know why we do what we do, what we want, or what we're working for. We just compete and compare ourselves to our peers. The worst of us kill out of that competitiveness. Imagine someone telling your life story and all you accomplished was reducing another living being to nothing. Stealing from another man, what they suffered for is a pretty shitty life story too. And lying about your accomplishments or story is pretty horrible. It contributes to destruction. We are industrial. We know when people lie. We know when things don't add up. We can feel a liar, know when we're being lied to or deceived. But that's what fucks kids up. We learn through imitation. Art imitates art. Life imitates life. And life imitates God. Some people just want to live a good life, or they say they do, so they hope the good they do outweighs the bad. Or at least right your wrongs before you die. Don't leave the world a mess because you manipulated it for selfish reasons, or because you cheated some rules to avoid suffering. All good things in this world are suffered for, and if you cheat to get the good things, someone else has to suffer. If you don't build your life up brick by brick, it will crumble. You have to do it yourself. Or at the very least, give in exchange something for you to accept something from someone else. Make it right. Treat people as you would want to be treated. Make yourself valuable before you ask to be paid. The world is full of con artists, but you are the artist. You create your life, and you get to choose what succeeds you. I don't think you can just fade away and leave nothing. Everyone leaves something. Even if you were born in a cave and never went more than 20 feet from it and died in it, you have taken food, water, hunted, and you'll leave bones behind. But you will always leave something, and you will always take. Your value is in giving something good or leaving something good. Day 27, A Real Boy. Pinocchio story by Kanye West. I just want to be real. Live in 100% honesty. That's the real world. The real world is the one I tell no lies in. But at the same time, I hide none of myself either. Mask off. Real. Unashamed. No hidden agenda. What's real then? Or who is the real me? I can only find that by realizing what I am not. I am not a killer. I've never been a physical fighter either. I am not a cheater. I am faithful to my relationships. The last lie I hold is that I care about my retirement check. I will pursue music and teaching and learning and writing until I die. I value my job because it allows me to have what I need and create my art. But I don't want to teach people to be better firefighters. I want to teach people how to find themselves and express that, and to learn that the secret to life is feeling. I know it will be expensive to create the RX Presley experience for people or to build RX Nation, but I can be open and honest about my life if it's for the greater good. I can throw my mistakes into the spotlight if it teaches other people, or people can learn from them. I want to be remembered as a public figure who positively influenced the world, and I have to become a public figure first. Actually, positively influence is subjective, but doing good isn't. I want to help shift our world culture and the world's morals. I want us to evolve spiritually into our utopia. Elon is taking care of space travel and self-driving cars, saving people time. He adds value to the world by giving people more time to express themselves. To practice what I preach, I'm living back at home so I can prove that all the material isn't worth it, so I can invest more money into my dreams and time, a cheaper life. I want to help kids save time in their lives who aren't pursuing what they want, or inspire adults to pursue their childhood passions. In business, you have to have investors or achievements. How can I save people time and stay real to myself? Help them find their truth faster. Help them find God faster. Pass down knowledge faster and be a role model. Lead by example. A huge masterpiece with all of my favorite artists or people who influence me. Change music culture for a blip. Get people away from guns and war and give them a reason to live. RX Nation rules. Take responsibility for your life. Feel everything and give everything meaning and learn. Do not kill, or lie, or cheat, or steal. Work hard to increase your value. No wars. We work together. No enemies. Stop making life a competition, but a creation. Psychedelics 100% legal. No rules if it doesn't harm anyone. Love is the drug. Be a real man. Fund your dreams legally. Live with less and do more. Let people learn from my mistakes. Day 28, Mistake Collage. All of my biggest mistakes that I learned from and made me who I am only rap about what I have learned. Do not preach someone else's knowledge. You can learn from others, but show proof. Have your receipts. Trump said keep a prenup, so did Ye. I don't believe in planning for an end because that leaves the option open. Do everything in absolutes. Have no plan Bs. Do not ever settle or negotiate for less than what you want. If you know what you want for certain and you have tested it against your needs. Day 29. Everything comes to the light. The scariest thing that ever happened to me was people started to love me for something I'm not. Fuck that shit. I can't live like that. How can I let people love me for a false version of me? Then I would have to maintain that. That would be a horrible life. It is a horrible life pretending I'm something I'm not. I would hate to be remembered for that. Or even worse, become famous and fake it till I die. Then get exposed as a phony after I'm dead. That's an awful legacy. I will only speak on what I have receipts for. I have to have my receipts. I will never allow myself to be expressed again. I will do it myself. Everything comes to the light. It will come to pass. Day 30. Book. How to cure addictions. How to love. How to be rich and bankrupt. The only true religion, God and evolution. How to live in ecstasy. How to get exactly what you want. I'm trying to help people find their truest self sooner while pursuing finding my truest self. I want to make people desire to make their lives more worthy or like Jesus and lead by example. I want the live show versus the perfect recording. I'm just another reminder. Back to yay, be exposed, put my whole life for the world to see. Exhale, start with book, fight the bullies, inspire. Am I rallying people to get up and go and be Jesus? Spark that flame in people to walk into the light. Write it to someone. Change ideas of a man. Addiction, love. Change the way people look at everything. Success. Write as many how-to books as possible. Does everyone have a calling? Books be brainstorming for people. Don't preach anything I don't have receipts for. How do I get the message out? Fix communication. Intimacy with everyone. We're all brothers. Be close to all my friends. Kanye was my daddy, and I have to be his son. Day 31. Why the world needs truth. Truth is a knowing. It is unquestionable. It is inspiring. It fucking hurts people. But people need to see it. People need to solve their problems. People need to mind their fucking business. People need to make themselves valuable versus beg. People need an honest person to tell them who they are. People need an honest person to lead them. People need to earn their shit, not take, not steal, but to inspire growth, to build each other up. This is a reminder. This is not a competition. Life is not a competition. And I'm tired. Alika told me I look tired. I sound tired. And I am. Why is it so hard and tiring to do God's work? Why do people take so much from me? Why do I give so much to people? Why do I define my worth by being appreciated? Why do I need so much love? Why can't I be at peace alone with nothing? Why the fuck do I want to help so much and leave such a big fucking legacy?